Welcome, Unity Community. We are so happy to see you virtually wherever you are. We welcome you in California and Texas and Washington and all over Oregon and wherever in the world you might be. We are so happy to have you here. I want to send out a special welcome to Unity Center of Divine Love and Light up in Spokane. They sent us the sweetest note this week and a tithe check as well, just telling us how much they appreciated our live streaming service. And so back at you, Wendy, and the rest of the folks from Spokane, that we are so happy to have you here with us and to be in the wonderful position of having the technology to share our message at this time. We welcome you no matter who you are and how you are, no matter who you love and how you love. It's you, the one that you are precious to us, and we are happy to have you here. Let's say our mission statement together. We are a vibrant, welcoming, multi-generational, prosperous community, embodying love and awakening spiritual consciousness. And so it is. So we have chants to get us in the groove this morning. Soulshine, take it away.
All right, come on, let's get some energy. Good God, y'all. I am as God created me. You want to sing out? Have fun. Come on. Do what Eric says. Get a little funky. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. Oh, yeah. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory, I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory, I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God, I am. Oh, in the light, in the love, in the glory of God, I am as God created me. Go! I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory, I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory, I am. In the light, in love, in the glory of God, I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God, I am. One more time, do that. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God, I am. In the light, in the love, in the light, God, I am. Introduce. Here's one we haven't done in a while. Return to me, with every breath return, end and begin with me, with every breath return. Return to me, return to me, with every breath return, return to me, return to me, with every breath, return, and begin with me, with every breath, return, with every breath, return, with every breath, return. Return to love. Return to love. Return to love. With every breath, return, and begin with love. With every breath, return, with every breath, return, with every breath, return, with every breath, return.
That is so beautiful. Thank you, Soulshine. I love that we can just have this flow of energy. It starts out with this, moving in your seats kind of energy, and then moving into your heart kind of energy, and then back into curiosity and celebration, because we have a special report.
Good morning, Unity Central Oregon. This is Claire Kubota here with Zeke for Talk to the Paw. Now, Zeke is Eric's guide dog. Those of you that don't know, Eric in our Soulshine band, he is blind, and Zeke helps take care of him. And he's our favorite four-legged friend. So, Zeke, we would like your thoughts on some things, because you've been coming to Unity for quite a while. So, how are you dealing with this whole pandemic thing and not being able to go out, and how's that really sitting with you? Oh, really? Is that right? So he says that, based on the Unity principles, since he's been going to Unity for quite a while, he understands that, you can't get caught up in the downside of things. You got to be grateful. And what are you grateful for? He is grateful for more time sitting with Eric and watching more movies. He is grateful that Manissa is doing more cooking at home, because sometimes she drops stuff on the floor and he gets to pick it up and get some extra snacks. So that's a super big bonus. And then, inquiring minds, Zeke, are you paying attention? Inquiring minds want to know, why do dogs sniff each other's butts? We're just really curious about that. Can you tell me? Are you kidding me? I knew it. Dogs' butts smell like bacon. And dogs like bacon, and he likes treats in my hand. I'll give you one treat. And then we have one more. Can you sit? And then the last thing, sometimes in service I hear you snoring. And what is that about? Because are you really sleeping, or are you just faking it? What's it? Well, he says when Jane does those guided meditations and you're imagining yourself walking through a forest and stuff, and there's other animals, he really likes that. So he's paying attention with that. But when she starts talking about kind of the dumb stuff that humans do, that's when he usually takes a nap, and he is for real sleeping. Is that good? Good boy. Thank you so much, Zeke. All right, bye-bye.
Celebrations.
Yay.
Yay for Zeke, though. And I am celebrating spring. I need to hold the mic closer, apparently. I'm celebrating spring. I busted into Kevin's closet this morning and got out one of his crazy shirts. So we have our list of celebrations. Leslie Dury is celebrating completing a remodel on her rental. We all know how chaotic that can be, so She's done with that. Yay, Leslie. I have my celebration pom-pom. Okay, Heather Church and Pat Frayne are celebrating springtime and getting into the yard and updating their garden and just freshening things up outside. Jim Pasmore is celebrating the One World Center garden. If you have not heard, you'll hear more about that later today. But we have a beautiful garden that's being started out here on our property. Let's see, Holly Simonet she's in Texas. And she is celebrating that we are doing live streaming of our services, that we have spirit groups that are on Zoom. She's in my spirit group, and it's been so fun having her and seeing her face regularly. Let's see, Chris Vaughn is celebrating something a lot of us should be really grateful for, having work right now. And his loved ones, that's a huge thing. So good appreciation. Joanne Pasmore put out her hummingbird feeder and is celebrating all the hummingbirds that came to party at her house this morning. Woo! I love hummingbirds. I have my feeder too. Colinda's niece Erin had a beautiful little baby boy, Colton. So she's a proud great aunt. And let's see. Melissa Rogers is celebrating her oldest son, James, is turning 10 today. And I am celebrating my beautiful mother, Janet's birthday. She's a little older than 10, but we won't say how old she is. And it's the first Sunday of the month of May, so we are going to celebrate all of our May birthdays. Hit it, Soul Shine.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
All of you and all of your joys that live. So please notice the link that's right there on the screen, and it's up at the top of the page that describes the video. Please fill out those prayer links and the claims, because it allows us to have the opportunity to stay connected with you on the highest vibration possible, which is prayer. It allows us to change. We're back. Okay. I don't know if Mercury is in retrograde or taking a nap along with Zeke or what's going on here, but we've been having some technology challenges. We weren't able to post into the group where we normally post. We're on the page, we're on the other locations. So you may have to chase us around a little bit to find us, but we are still sending out our love to you. And let's, for prayer right now, I really want to celebrate those who are not getting to celebrate, all the class of 2020. They are graduating, they have worked hard to get to this place, and the celebration is missing, except for what people have hobbled together virtually. But as we hold this class of 2020 in prayer, this is what we know as truth. You are here to change the world. You are equipped in a way no other class, no other generation has been equipped to make an impact in the world around you. You are moving into the world with a spirit of innovation, of allowance, of empathy, and deep connection. You are not taking life or anything else for granted. You have a spirit of deep appreciation and gratitude. And we celebrate you in prayer. We are so thankful for you. And we know now, we see from the inner plane the great work that you will do in the world. And we send you our love, our appreciation. We send you strength and fortitude that you may be able to keep in mind the inner guidance that is leading you to lead the world. Do not be discouraged. Deny the power of discouragement and hold on tight to the life force within you, to the love in your heart. And as we hold you and think about you all over the world, wherever you are graduating, we send you forth on this great launch into your bigger life. And we hold all the others in prayer as well. All those intentions, we gather them in this great virtual basket of love and prayer. Whether you are praying for health for yourself or loved ones, whether you are praying for those on the front lines in the hospitals, in the grocery stores, in all the places where people are serving, wherever your concerns are for people in our community and for yourself, for those who are lonely, for those who are desperate financially. We hold the truth that there is a higher power available in our midst, in our minds, and we delve into that now collectively. And for those who are having difficulty finding it, we hold them up in prayer so that they may find it in their hearts and minds as well. We are so grateful to have the awareness that prayer changes everything. Let's reinforce that in song. And let's pray together. Love is our ultimate reality, everywhere present and whole, It radiates abundantly and continually creates good in my life and in the world. As we gratefully acknowledge the presence and power of love now, we see the people and circumstances we hold in prayer healed and illumined by love. And so it is. And now let's move into meditation. And I wasn't going into the forest, but Zeke, since you insist, here we go. Let's just imagine that forest all around. We see Zeke sniffing away at the trees and the bushes, and we see all those fantastic fungi that are growing on the forest floor. We feel the coolness of the air, and we see the beauty as the sun streams through the branches of the fir trees. Or maybe you're in a southern forest, and it's a different kind of tree. Wherever you are, just see the beauty of sunlight dancing with leaf. And make your way through the forest to a place where there's a little stream that's running through it. And notice that that stream is such clear, clear water. And just imagine that you stoop down so that you can get a taste of that clear water. It's so pure. And as you drink of the water, you feel something going through you, this light, liquid light. And imagine it's just pouring through your body, just the way that the breath is. Feel your whole body growing light. And imagine that this light is radiating out from your skin. You are standing there completely, wholly light. And imagine that as you stand there as light, if there is anything in your field, a thought, a resentment, a fear, that is making a break in that light that is flowing out, just imagine that you could reach over to that area and that light from your own hand would just infuse that place in your field. And the light would dissolve the fear, would dissolve the resentment, would dissolve that untrue thought, until all that is left is pure light. Until you can say and know, I am light. Just be present with that amazing truth. And then, as beautiful light, bring your attention back and let's move into song.
For his age is wise, he's got his mother's eyes, he's
gladness in his heart. He's young and he's wild. My only prayer is if I can be there. Lord, protect my child. As his youth now unfolds, he is centuries old. See him at play makes me smile. No matter what happens to me, no matter what my destiny, Lord, protect my child. The whole world is asleep. You can look at it and weep. A few things you find are worthwhile. And no, I don't ask for much, no material things to touch. Lord, protect my child. He's young and on fire, full of hope and desire, in a world that's been raped and defiled. If I follow the way and can't see another day, Lord, protect my child. There'll be a time, I hear tell, when all will be well, when God and man will be reconciled. But until men lose their chains and righteousness reigns, Lord, protect my child. Lord, protect my child.
Nice job back there.
Thank you so much. So let's dedicate that to the class of 2020 as we send you out into the world. Truly, isn't that, as parents, as elders in the world, isn't that what we want? We want our children to be safe and protected. We want to be protected ourselves. And I mean, one of the buzzwords, PPE, personal protective equipment. That's what is, you hear everybody. We're walking around with masks on, with gloves, whatever it is to protect ourselves. And so I really started thinking about the whole idea of protection. What does that mean? What is protection and what can we count on? I remember pretty early in this whole process of being confined to the house there was some minister down south who said, well, we're going to continue to be meeting in church because God will protect us. And I thought, there's something fishy about that. No pun intended, all the Christians out there. But I was thinking, but isn't that what we believe? Don't we believe that through the power of prayer we receive protection? And yet we are not all meeting in this space. Maybe it's the old thing that Jesus said about render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's. We actually follow rules and regulations and believe that that's important. We believe that it's important to protect others through our own actions, even when it requires some suffering on our part and sacrifice. But most important, I think the whole idea of protection, especially protection by God, is something that we need to explore. In the Old Testament, there are actually many stories and many cries out to the Lord to protect us. And either the Lord is protecting us, and therefore we are able to go forward safely, or the Lord is upset and smiting somebody. So the Old Testament is full of that, but I'm just going to focus on one story, which is such an interesting story. It's the story of a king who steps into power in Persia after a couple of kings before him have had a fall from grace. And he wants to do well. And there is this one particular governor he has in place, a man named Daniel, who is a very upright and spiritually grounded individual. He has been able to interpret signs that have come along correctly and been a very helpful person because he is so tuned in to the spirit within that he calls God. So he has quite a bit of power because he is trustworthy. And the other governors are jealous of him. And they are corrupt. At that time, it was taking bribes, much like in many places now, was not an unusual thing. It was common practice, but he did not do that. And so they want to get rid of him. So they go to the king and they say, we think that you should make a royal proclamation saying that for the next 30 days, nobody is allowed to worship any god except for you. Now, at that time, it was a common belief that the king stood in for God, and so worshiping the king as a god was not particularly unusual at that time. And I'm sure that the king, like many of us might be if we were in that position, had a little bit of ego involved and is thinking, well, yeah, that's a great idea. So he makes the proclamation. And the catch in this particular time and place is that once a royal edict has gone out, it cannot be changed. You can't say, oh, wait, edit. It's out there. So he puts out the edict, and what does Daniel do? Because Daniel is loyal to the God of Israel. Daniel continues doing what he has always done. He prays devoutly 3 times a day to the God of Israel. The guys that are trying to get him in trouble are sure that he will do this, and they spy on him, catch him in the act of praying, and then go back and tattle to the king. But first, before they say what's happened, they say, you remember that edict that you put out, that one that can't be changed? Well, we found somebody who is not obeying it, who is praying to a different God. Oh, says the king. Daniel, they say smugly. And so he must be destroyed because that's what the edict says. So the king is very upset about this because he treasures Daniel. But he also has this thought that maybe Daniel's God will actually save him. He's hoping for that. But he orders Daniel to be taken and thrown into a den of lions. And they put a rock over the den of lions and they seal it, and he puts the king's seal on it so that he can't get out. And the king goes back home and he fasts for the entire overnight and just prays himself that the God of Israel will protect Daniel. So the next morning they come down to find out what's happened. They open it and there's Daniel just sitting totally chill. The lions are sleeping, kind of doing a Zeke thing. You know, maybe he did a guided visualization with them. I don't know. Says in the Bible, God sent his angels to seal the mouths of the lions, but he's completely unharmed. So they bring him out, and then the king decides that the problem here is the ones that got him in trouble, and he takes them and all their family and throws them into the den of the lions, who suddenly wake up and devour all those people. One of the reasons that a lot of people don't like the Bible and don't like the God of the Bible, because, here's all these people. Some of them maybe had it coming, your call, but their families certainly did not, and yet they were done in by the lion. So why was Daniel protected? Is it because he sucked up to God and God liked him better? Do we have to do things to get God to protect us? When bad things happen, is it because God is smiting us in some way? These are questions that people have because the Bible is so embedded in our culture. Even if you yourself have never cracked open that book, it's still in your consciousness because it's in our culture. It's like the air we breathe. You can't avoid it. So what I would like to offer is that we look at this story from a metaphysical view and stop thinking it was ever intended to be a literal story. Instead, let's look at the idea of who these characters represent. So the king is the ruler. And so it's the part of ourselves that rules our thoughts, that rules our actions, the one that directs what we do. And this ruler wants to be a good person. This ruler is attracted toward the higher thoughts, the spiritual thoughts represented by Daniel. This ruler wants that kind of life, that kind of influence. But there's these other people involved who are corrupt, that are interfering with that process. So let's look at, as the ruler of our own lives, or the creator of our own lives would be another way to say it, what are the things that we are drawn toward? What are the spiritual possibilities that we just shimmer, the dreams that are like, could I really do that? What are those for each one of us that we're so drawn to, like hummingbirds to the feeder? And what are the corrupting thoughts that want to interfere with that? So maybe it's a thought that says, oh, you're not good enough. It's a thought that says, nobody would be interested in that. Maybe it's a thought that everybody's going down, just deal with it. Maybe it's a thought that says, you're not important. You don't matter. You can't. Whatever that, those are corrupt thoughts. They are not in integrity, meaning they are not part of your wholeness. But if you, as the ruler, turn and listen to them, then you endanger the part of you that is divine, that is filled with light, that lifts itself up. So it's important that you, as the ruler of your life, make a choice. Are you going to listen to the corrupt ones, or are you going to listen to the spiritual Daniel in you? If you do, if you put your energy on Daniel, that spiritual self, then protection comes as part of that package, because that spiritual self is vibrating at a higher level. So, spoiler alert, this does not mean that if you're out in the jungle and a hungry lion comes by, you're not going to get eaten. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that you will not die of coronavirus. It doesn't mean that you won't get hit by a car or that you won't lose your job. That's not what protection means. The circumstances of the material world, the things that we want to protect our children from, we cannot control those. What we get to control is the higher vibration. What do we make those circumstances mean? What do we tell ourselves about them? Do we listen to the corrupt thoughts, or do we listen to the higher spiritual Daniel thoughts? When we go in prayer, when we lift ourselves up in our consciousness, we move out of the material third dimension where all the stuff is happening that causes anguish, and we move up into a fifth dimension of a higher vibration where we are light and we know it, where we are eternal, where there is nobody can kill who we are. Yes, they can kill our bodies, and sometimes that happens. And for all of us, it will happen at some point. But the who of who we are, that remains eternal. That remains a light that never goes out. In that space of light, divine ideas are flowing all the time. Charles Fillmore said, ideas are divine currency. So down here on the third dimension, with all the corrupt thoughts, we think that we are in lack. We think, well, I don't have a job, or my bank account is treacherously low. And we think we are in danger and we need protection from that. We need someone to step in from the government or a friend or family or somebody protect us. But up here on the higher vibration that Daniel represents, there are ideas flowing all the time. There is a beautiful idea for each one of us right now. We are not here on this planet at this time just accidentally. We didn't just wander in and say, hey, what's up? We came here on purpose. We came here as beings of light into the confinements of material form to be part of the transformation that is in the process of happening. And we need to be more than warm bodies. We need to be fully engaged spiritual beings who are listening to the divine ideas that are ours and taking action upon them. It isn't enough to say, whoa, that's a great idea. Take action. Because along with the divine idea, if you keep listening, comes all the how-tos. I was listening to Elizabeth Gilbert, I believe it was, who was talking about inspiration. And she said a lot of people, this was within the context of writing that she was speaking, but you can take it with ideas. A lot of people are looking for something cosmic, like, God speaking in the movie Moses, whoa, here it comes in with this big announcement of what you are to do. But she said it's not like that. It's almost never like that. Instead, it's about following a trail of breadcrumbs. Like you see one over there, and it's like, oh, that idea. Let me act on that. And then you find the next one. And then you find the next one. But the key is, who are you listening to? Are you in prayer and meditation listening to the spiritual source of your being? Are you listening to that spiritual source that is transforming our world as we speak? Are you listening to that? Or are you over here listening to the disaster channel, which is telling you what to be afraid of, when to be afraid, why to be afraid, how to be afraid? What are you listening to? So yes, we do use PPE, but let's use it from a place of love and caring. Every time you put on a mask, every time you stay inside instead of going outside, let it be a sacrifice from our hearts that we say, this is for the people on the front line. This is to keep them safe so they don't have a tsunami of sick people showing up at once. We do this as an act of solidarity, not as an act of fear. Nothing can change that we are a community, and our immunity comes in community. As we reach to one another through the heart and through the spirit, that is the source of our protection. There will be the dark forests in our lives where we get frightened. That isn't going to change. The material plane is all about illusion, illusions of fear. But no matter what forest we walk through, no matter what lions we face, no matter what viruses come along, we can always turn to that higher power. It's right there. Open the windows of your soul and face the Jerusalem of love that is there, as Daniel modeled in this story. Because when we do that, we lift up not only ourselves in safety, but our whole world. And that's what we are here for at this time on planet Earth. Namaste.
Nothing's gonna harm you. whistle, I'll be there. Demons will charm you with a smile for a while, but in time, nothing can harm you. Not while I'm demons will charm you with a smile for a while, but in time, nothing can harm you. Not while I'm
Thank you. That's so beautiful. So we have a few announcements here. One is in terms of streaming, please let your friends know. We're streaming right on our website. You can send them there. We're doing it on Facebook, on our page. Maybe we'll be back on our group. It seems that Facebook just keeps changing the rules, and we're trying our best to keep up, but just be aware that they do that. So if you can't see us on the group, look on the page. If they switch it in 2 weeks, do the opposite. We'll just do our best to let you know where we are, and we'll always be on the website, although I don't think you can interact on the website the way you can on Facebook. So that's kind of preferred in that way, so you get to talk to each other and to us, because we read those comments and really appreciate them. We're also on YouTube, and we're on Twitch. So any of those that works for you or your friends, if you share these services, then it's wonderful because it gets our word out in a wider audience. The other announcement that I want to make is about Unity Basics class. It's a class spirit group combo, and there's a few spaces left in the evening group that starts on May 19th, but there are quite a few spaces on the group that's supposed to start this week on Wednesday. It's from 11 to 1. It's a 4-week group, and it's a wonderful way to have a better idea of what is Unity all about. Unity in general, Unity specifically, this community. And it's so wonderful and connecting. What we really long for is for everybody who is involved, and you don't have to live in Central Oregon to be involved, because we know a lot of you are listening from other places. We long to have you all feel a sense of connection with one another. Even though we can't go outside to meet together the way we did before, we still can meet inside on the internal plane and in our Zoom rooms. So please go to unitycentraloregon.com/calendar and sign up. I hope you'll sign up for this class so we can start it this week. Otherwise, we'll have to postpone it. But I would really like to do it now because people need connection right now. And also, we have a garden that is in full swing right now. So we have a video to show you about it.
I know.
Hey Kevin, it's Cherie. You don't see Russell or Rachel, but we have Aaron and Nate, and they're right here with us contributing to our community garden. Our berries are popping. We have some strawberry flowers. Today we successfully got donated some mulch from the Fields Farm, which is in the Jeep above us. So we're gonna start to augment our soil and just really get ready to grow food for the community. Russell's helping us by building a bench for our tools. Rachel's doing a lot of really cool stuff with the composting and getting our soil to be where we need it. And then Aaron's gonna be helping teach us how to use our ingredients in a purposeful way. So I really appreciate you being here, and I'm just thrilled. We're gonna also have, this is a cool thing, a labyrinth. So we're just moving out and using our time and space, and we'll ask you for help soon. Hello, Unity community. This is Cherie. I'm here at the garden with my friend Mike, who's helped us mostly doing the gate and the foundation, but has had a concern for making food for the rest of the community. So I just want to introduce you to him. He's going to say a few words about why he wants to help.
I just love community. I love to help people in need, and I love gardening. So when I heard she could use some help, I was ecstatic to be part of it.
We just appreciate you so much, and we're going to keep seeing your face, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is so exciting. And I know that we also have some steps that Derek is building down to the garden. So pretty soon, we're going to have a whole calendar set up where you can sign up to come in different shifts so that we don't have a whole pile of people at once. And you can get your fingers in the dirt and do some work. So thank you, Cherie, and the whole team that's working on it. We are so appreciative to you for the growth that you are creating in our community, literally. And we look forward to eating the wonderful food that you're growing. So now it's time for our giving. And I'm so appreciative of all of you who have been texting on a regular basis with offerings, and I encourage you to continue to do that today. It's a new month, a new stream of expenses coming through, and it's important that we keep this organization alive and growing. We can't just plant a seed and then say, okay, done, forget about it. We have to keep watering it so that it may grow, knowing that as we grow, we are feeding others. We are feeding others in ways that we have only begun to imagine, only begun. We have a mission to embody love and awaken spiritual consciousness. If we want a world that the first thing you think of when you think of our world is love and that spiritual Daniel consciousness. If that's the world we want, then we have to put our money where our desire is, because our money represents our energy. So no matter what you have, tell yourself, I have, not I don't have. And invest in that vision if that vision sings to your heart. And we know that as we do this, we are so blessed. We cannot give without receiving, just as we cannot exhale without inhaling. It's how it works. It's called being in the flow. So let's flow together in that state of blessing. I am so blessed. Affirm it with me.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And let's just bless these virtual offerings. From the love of pure spirit within us, we bless these gifts. We send them forth to heal, bless, and prosper. They are evidence of our faith and belief. They are do good work in the world and return to us multiplied abundantly. And so it is. And I want to say a special thank you to the Kubotas. Claire, for your creativity and the fun and playfulness you bring to us. Thank you so much. And to Kevin and Nico for all your technical skills and videotaping and videos that are bonus videos. You are such a gift to our community. Thank you so much. And thank you to Soulshine for your beautiful music, and to Kalinda for holding the space, and Manissa for being the chauffeur and dog handler. This is a wonderful team. And all of you, mostly all of you, I appreciate so much for being part of our us. And for the prayer of protection, we have a special treat. Eric wrote a song for the prayer of protection. And as we sing the song, please know that this prayer of protection is not something that happens from outside. It's something that comes from inside. The God who will enfold us, the God who will protect us, is within us. I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the power of God. That is what we need to remember. And I have that power when I turn and lift myself up. So let's sing this together.
The light of God surrounds me. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love of God. The power of God protects me. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, because I am. The light of God surrounds me. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love of God. The power of God protects me. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, because I am. light of God surrounds me. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love of God. The power of God protects me. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, because I